But I don't know anything about it.
So Trump is losing what's left of his mind, which, considering how little there is left to lose, should concern Republicans.
Silence of the Lamb. Has anyone ever seen the Silence of the Lamb? The late, great Hannibal Lecter is a wonderful man. He oftentimes would have a friend for dinner. Remember the last scene? Excuse me, I'm about to have a friend for dinner as this poor doctor walked by. I'm about to have a friend for dinner, but Hannibal Lecter, congratulations.
Okay, first, I'm assuming you know someone can't be the late Hannibal Lecter if it's a fictional character. I mean, it's a fictional character.
If you speak my name again, I will go shopping for some fava beans.
So this whole thing with Hannibal Lecter started a few months ago. Trump was lying about countries opening up insane asylums and sending people here. Then his brain ticked and he started talking about Hannibal Lecter.
Prisons and jails, you know, there is a slight difference, okay? They're coming from prisons and jails, mental institutions, and insane asylums like Silence of the Lamb. The press always says, why does he ramble about Silence of the Lamb, the late, great Hannibal Lecter? He'd like to have you over for dinner. Did you ever?
And since then, he can't stop. He keeps bringing up Hannibal Lecter because he's out of his mind.
The late, great Hannibal Lecter.
But that's just the beginning. Trump is floundering for a lot of reasons, and one is his rapid cognitive decline is gaining momentum. He's a sociopath, a narcissistic control freak who thought Biden was vulnerable. And then this happened.
Prepare for Kamala Camelot. Prepare for the mythologized age of the Kennedys, the shining administration on a hill. Prepare for Camelot. Camelot is coming your way. Beyonce already greenlighted her using the Freedom Song. Camelot is here.
All of a sudden, Trump is behind in the polls, 20 points behind with young people. And women, well, women are pissed.
Especially since I was proudly the person responsible for the ending of something that all legal scholars, both sides, wanted and, in fact, demanded be ended. Roe v. Wade.
So as the national overwhelming support of reinstating Roe v. Wade grows, Trump starts making things up regarding abortion. First of all, he can't even say the word.
Also a total radical on a word called do you know this, right? A word called
Then he just starts to lie.
She wants abortions in the 8th and 9th month of pregnancy. That's fine with her. Right up until birth, and even after birth, the execution of a baby.
Just so you know, no Democrat has ever advocated any of those things, but that means nothing to Trump, and that's part of his sickness.
After a video posted to his social media account seemingly suggests there will be a unified Reich if he wins the 2024 election.
And Trump has a thing about size, starting with the pathetically small inauguration crowd.
This was the largest audience to ever witness an inauguration, period, both in person and around the globe.
And last week, he straight up lied about 107,000 people at a New Jersey event that had maybe 12,000.
107,000 people recently in New Jersey.
Why would you lie about something so easily checked? But to borrow from Freud, this whole size obsession, it could come from another deep-seated mental and physical shortcoming.
Referred to my hands. If they're small, something else must be small. I guarantee you there's no problem.
But while Americans are aware that not only is Trump insane, but dangerous, his supporters start to sound kind of crazy as well.
Washington news media comment, not the Hollywood.
She wants to ban plastic straws. I love my plastic straw. I hate those paper straws. Anyway.
Kamala can't have my guns, she can't have my gasoline engine, and she sure as hell can't have my steaks and cheeseburgers.
That is crazy!
Is this contagious?
A vote for Trump or Vance, how do you like? How do you like?
And Hillbilly Vance, there's a train wreck. Women across America and probably every young single woman heard what Vance said about both childless women and Americans who don't have children.
It's just a basic fact. You look at Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, AOC, the entire future of the Democrats is controlled by people without children. And how does it make any sense that we've turned our country over to people who don't really have a direct stake in it?
Vance wasn't just attacking couples who, for whatever reasons, don't have kids, and millions of Americans desperately trying to conceive. Vance was also attacking gay and lesbian men and women who face prejudice and violence in their simple desire to love someone.
Little tiny thing.
Trump's mental collapse has been exacerbated by a number of factors, but paranoia tops the list. He trusts no one, and no one trusts him.
I can't stomach Trump. I think that he's noxious and is leading the white working class to a very dark place.
Republicans know what happened on January the 6th.
We saw what happened. It was a violent insurrection.
But Republicans still support him, like Mitch McConnell, who, despite what you just heard, still endorses Trump.
She shouldn't even be allowed to run for president, what she's done. She's committing crimes.
But it's Trump's attacks against Harris that will be his undoing, because MAGA doesn't know how to run against a woman without alienating all women.
Here, and so the future looks kind of dim for the Democrats here, but this is no shocker either. Kamala Harris, she's the original Haktua girl. That's the way she got where she is, and the party's going downhill if it's in her hands.
That was tough. That was harsh.
I'm not sure how to explain the obscenity coming from that piece of shit, except to say he's alleging Kamala Harris performed a certain sex act to get where she is today. But of course that will backfire. And Trump added an exclamation point by trying to paint Harris as an anti-Semite.
The Jewish people show up and listen to the concept, but she's totally against the Jewish people. And it amazes me how Jewish people will vote for the Democrats when they're being treated so disrespectfully.
Except for this little nugget, her husband is Jewish. And Trump supporters?
Jews will not replace us!
Trump's mental slide is slick and gaining momentum, especially as this portrait emerges.
So think of it. They get me to that position, and then their campaign says, I'm the prosecutor, and he is the convicted felon. That's their campaign. I don't think people are going to buy it.
The fact that this is a young black woman squaring off against an old white guy, they like that she's going to all just talk about abortion, and they like the fact that she was a prosecutor and he's a felon.
It's a pretty easy sell. One is a prosecutor and one is a felon. Who would you vote for?
There is no way that the American people are going to vote for a convicted criminal. They're not.
Republicans don't know how to work around this. 34 convictions versus a tough former prosecutor. And while Trump's diarrhea mouth bloviates more and more insanity...
Yeah, turn off your cameras for a second, okay? Boy, that's a lot of cameras. Man. No, they get it up and they can't quite do it. Oh. Mom, I'm sorry, Mom.
The real narrative starts to take hold. Trump is dangerous and insane. And his Project 2025, which will do all of this...
Trump, joined by Speaker Mike Johnson and evangelical leaders, announces that the Department of Health and Human Services has reclassified mifepristone, making it illegal to distribute or prescribe, as well as new HHS regulations that make IVF treatments impossible to legally administer. Trump reverses one campaign promise by declaring a national abortion ban by executive order. Challenges to his authority are rejected by the Supreme Court, which has seen new appointments from Trump after it was expanded to 12 justices. He signs an executive order removing abortion records from HIPAA privacy regulations and announces a new federal data sharing program so states can monitor women's periods.
Kamala Harris is arguably the perfect candidate for this moment. She's a former prosecutor running against a convicted felon. She's a woman running for women's basic stolen rights. And she's definitely mentally strong and unafraid.
Donald Trump wants to take our country backward. But we are not going back.
They were peaceful people. These were great people. The love in the air, I've never seen anything like it.
While racist Republicans fan the flames,
I'm afraid if we lose this one, it's going to take a civil war to save the country.
The rest of this country is tired of this insanity, tired of the lies, tired of the racism, and tired of this pustulant skin tag.
But Hannibal Lecter, I'm about to have a friend for dinner.
Of course, Hannibal isn't real, but were he? I'd love to arrange the meeting.
Damn right.
Trust me.
Shut the f*** up, Dan.
Who's with me?
Oh, yeah, the lie.
Indictable.
Out of sheer morbid curiosity, I'm allowing this freak show to continue.
This isn't their Republican Party anymore!
I don't want to talk about this stuff.
Am I wrong?
Yeah, right.
You're in a lot of trouble, Donnie.
I think he's crazy.
I'm Chip Franklin.